They hate you for your intuition. When you're the chosen one, you just listen to your gut feeling, and not only does the universe give you, all the signs, all the help, all the protection, all the praise, but when you know how to read, when you know how to see, and when you know how to speak to the universe, you will intuitively be able to just live your life and just know what path to take. If it's one of those things where your life can change within any moment, you're a left or a right away from your life changing completely. If you wake up this morning and you accidentally take a right instead of a left, you can fall, something could hit, the tree could fall on you, you could die. And just because you took that right, you died today instead of dying tomorrow. And there are things that, yes, you can't avoid. There are things that are out of your control. But at the end of the day, even though there are a lot of things that are out of your control, your brain processes as much as it can and it tries to fill in the blanks. So you have that intuition. When you have that feeling of being watched, and you're like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like somebody's looking at me, and you look around and you see somebody looking at you, it's your intuition telling you, oh, somebody's staring at you. You know what I'm saying? It's that animalistic preconditioned feeling of, oh, am I in danger? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? I feel like there's some set of eyes on me. And not only can people not really explain why that happens, but it's an example of how the universe will be trying to tell you, hey, somebody's looking at you. Hey, you have some bad energy this way. Hey, you know how people say, like, you know how people will be like, oh, I know how to read people. I can tell if somebody's a good person or a bad person or whatever. Or there's probably sometime in your life where somebody's walked in the room and you just be like, I don't know what it is about that person, but I can just tell that, they're a positive person, or they're a good person, or they have a purpose, or they're going to make it, or they're going to do something. They're letting life change. You can just feel it. They don't have to say anything. They're not really doing it. They don't have a shirt that says, oh, I'm the chosen one, I'm going to change the world. It's just one of those things that you feel. Nonverbal. And so it's kind of like that. When you trust your intuition, it's the universe pretty much giving you that, hey, this is what's happening. And there are a lot of people that go against their intuition. So there'd be a lot of people that'd be like, oh, I have a feeling that, my spouse is cheating on me, or I have a feeling that something bad is about to happen. And then what happens? They find out their spouse is cheating. They find out that something bad happened. And it's one of those things where they're just like, oh, I just felt it. I've had multiple people tell me testimonies, and I'm not saying this is scientific proof or anything, but I've had multiple people tell me testimonies about how there'll be a loved one who passes away, and that night, even though they're not in the same location, the same town, or same whatever, they just can't sleep. They just have that gut feeling like something is tragic, like something just happened. And it's one of those things where it's like the connection of energies just not necessarily severed, but there's like a disruption in the harmony. So it's like they're like, oh, I feel uneasy. I feel like I feel like something is wrong. And even though you might not know what is wrong, even though you might not know what the cause is, you just know that something is wrong. There are a lot of people that might be like, oh, I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of, it's like the difference between anxiety, being paranoid, and having good intuition. Okay, you just have to have a combination of all those things. Why? Because when your intuition is telling you something bad is about to happen, you're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel paranoid. And it's one of those things where if your intuition tells you, oh, you're in danger, and you don't listen because you're like, oh, I'm just anxious. Oh, I'm just paranoid. You're probably going to suffer the consequences of that danger. But if you are like, oh, my intuition is telling me something else, something bad is about to happen. Let me take this uncomfortable feeling that I have and do something about it. Next thing you know, oh, this bad thing happened, but you somehow avoided it. This could have happened to you, but because you followed your intuition, it didn't. Okay? And like I said, not only does your intuition tell you about all the bad things, but your intuition will tell you about all the good things. Like J. Cole says, my intuition is telling me there'll be better days. You might be in a situation where life is just horrible. You might be in a situation where you're just like, bro, this cannot be it. And you might have that intuition. You might have that vision where it's like, I just know that there's more. You might feel like, oh, I have a purpose in life. There's things I want to do. You just might feel like, there just has to be more. And your intuition is telling you, hey, even though today is probably the worst day you ever had, don't give up. Your intuition is telling you, even though today is, as worse as it can get, keep on going. Why? Because your intuition knows that the universe has stuff planned for you. The intuition knows that you are destined for greatness. The intuition knows that the world is going to be changed by your presence. So the last thing you want to do is not only, stop yourself from achieving those goals, but you don't want to hold yourself back. Everybody else is always going to try to hold you back. Your environment is going to try to hold you back. The people around you is going to try to hold you back. Sometimes, like I said, you hold yourself back. But the one thing that you can conquer, because you can't always control your environment, you can't always control the people around you, but you can control yourself and how you think and how you feel and what you do about your environment, what you do about the things around you, what you do about the people and what they say to you. Okay, so by having that control, you use that to your advantage. Okay, you use that to your advantage. You use your intuition to your advantage. What do I mean by this? I get told all the time. They'll be like, "Oh, you seem like you're so confident." There's people that just be like, "Oh, you're different." I used to get told all the time, "You're different," and it's one of those things where, of course, I was born in Africa. I was born in Kenya. I came here when I was a kid. Kind of grew up in the U.S. Went to middle school, high school, college in the U.S. Still here in the U.S. I'm gonna go back to Africa. Sorry for a different day, but it's one of those things where I speak a different language. English was not my first language. I grew up in a super traditional Islamic family. So for me, it's like seeing the world through their eyes and then seeing the world through the American version of America and, an Islamic version living in America. I had to kind of experience it for myself. And the older I got, the more research I did on Islam, Christianity, and seeing how they're all tied. I seen how, pretty much, like I said, story for a different day. But pretty much when I was going through my awakening period, I used to just always talk to a lot of people. I would go to a Mormon church. I would go to a Catholic church. I would go to a Protestant church and just ask people 1,000,001 questions. Oh, why do you think Jesus did this? Oh, what about this? Oh, what about Mary? And oh, what about God and this? Oh, the angels? Oh, what about? Oh, true. Well, I don't know about that one. And like I said, I was just going through my journey, just learning and asking questions. And like I said, there are people that helped me a lot, and there are people that try to help me back. Okay, but the one thing that I used to always get told by people that I never talked to, never met, or didn't even they didn't really even know the true me, was just like, "Oh, you're different. Oh, I can just tell that that you're gonna be somebody." Even now, like I'm only 24. I own a trucking company, I own a taxi company, I own a car rental company, a YouTube channel. There's more things I do. I just forget. But it's one of those things where I'm only 24 and I try to be an entrepreneur, and everybody around me is just like, "Wow," just like you're so young, you're so driven, you're so ambitious. Like we can just tell that you're gonna be somebody. We can just tell you're going to be somebody. And it's one of those things where I'm always like, "Oh, thank you. But it's one of those things where they don't understand all the work that I put in. Like I'm sitting here making this video. Somebody's going to watch it when it goes viral and just be like, oh my God, you went viral. But it's like, they don't see the fact that I had to wake up this morning. They don't see the fact that I had to get dressed, get motivated to come and make this video, sit here for however long this video is, And it's one of those things where not only am I excited to do it, but it's part of who I am. I literally turn into like what I call a YouTube crackhead, because I literally just like make one video and I'm just like, gotta make the next one, and I'm just like just ready to just dump out some content for y'all. And it's one of those things where right now I have almost no subscribers. I think I literally have less than 20 subscribers, and you might be watching this video when I have more than 20 subscribers. And it's one of those things where, like I said, I'm here now just not only believing in myself, believing in my intuition, but it's gonna be a perfect example of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm recording myself now, telling myself not only do I believe that I'm going to make it, I know I'm going to make it. And when I do make it, I get to come and look back at this video and look back at the mindset that I had that got me there. So when people are like, "Oh my God, look at you, you made it." When people are like, "Oh, we always knew that you were going to do something." It's one of those things where I not only worked to make things happen, but I took that support and I used it as motivation. I took that motivation and I used it to drive me. I used that motivation, I used it as inspiration. And every person that tells me I can do it, I use it as a comment. Like I said, even though I have less than 20 subscribers, I already had one subscriber tell me, "Oh, your channel has potential, keep on going." And like I said, it just motivates me, it just drives me, it inspires me, and it just makes me want to go and just make more content. But it's one of those things where my intuition is the reason why I'm even here in the first place. If my intuition never told me to make that YouTube video, that guy would have never commented and told me to keep going. So then I would have never kept going, and I would have never made it. So it's one of those things where my intuition is telling me that not only is there going to be better days, but my intuition is telling me that, there's a life that I'm going to live, and I have to plant the seeds now to bear the fruits of the labor later. Okay. So like I said, right now I'm planting all the seeds. Like this video is a seed I planted. And whenever the plant starts to grow and it turns into, starts producing fruit, whenever I go and eat some of that fruit, or I go and I share some of that fruit, when other people get to enjoy that fruit, they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. How'd you do this? Or this is amazing. I'm glad you kept going. Why? Because there's people around that are going to try to convince you not to. Like, I'm not saying that you have to be a YouTuber or anything like that, but it's one of those things where if there are things that you want to do in life and your intuition is telling you to keep going, your intuition is telling you, hey, this is the possible future that you can live in if you do this today. You have to trust your intuition. Why? Because you will be in that position later and be like, wow, I really achieved the things that I thought were impossible only because I believed in myself and I believed in my intuition. Only some of the greatest athletes, rappers, or whatever. There's 1,000,001 athletes, the people that play basketball, but the people that tell themselves, oh, this is what I want to do, you know, luck is involved, you know, a little bit of, you know, resources, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to them being motivated and driven. The person that says, like Kobe Bryant has his work ethic. He would be in the weight room every day, just, you know what I'm saying, how they say, you weren't with me shooting in the gym. So it's one of those things where people will come and see Kobe Bryant, LeBron James just going crazy, just, you know, doing their thing, and they're like, wow. But they don't see the fact that they were in the gym just putting in the work to get there. They don't see that all the shots that they took, they missed, and then they start making. And now when they go to the game and they make it, people are just like, whoa, how do you just make it? And it's one of those things where they just trusted their intuition. They trusted themselves. They trusted their work ethic. They trusted their motivation. They trusted their inspiration to get them to that point, and things worked out. So like I said, if you're in a situation where you believe in yourself, you could be a rapper, artist, musician, YouTuber, you can be just trying to spread God's truth, you know what I'm saying, for all I know, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you're trying to do not let other people not only like set you down, hold you back, or weigh you down, but trust your intuition. Your intuition is pretty much your subconscious plus your conscious together. It's you, you know, with all your experiences, it's your wisdom, you know, telling you how the future is going to be. So not only do you have to trust your intuition, but when you do, you will see the changes of it. Trust your intuition. If there's one thing that you have to learn from my channel, if there's one thing that you should probably listen to, like I said, I've only made 2 videos so far about, you know, being the chosen one, but if you had to take anything from being a chosen one, if you had to take anything about being one of those people that change the world, change people's lives, is you have to trust your intuition. Because your intuition is going to tell you can do that. Your intuition is going to tell you, hey, you can change the world. You can change people's lives. You can change your environment. You can change your city, your town, your country. You can change, like I said, the world. But you have to believe in yourself first. You have to start with the man in the mirror. You have to believe in yourself first. Why? Because your intuition is telling you there's going to be better days. And you're going to be a part of those better days, but you have to plant the seeds now. You have to trust your intuition. You have to trust the process. You have to trust the motivation. You have to trust the inspiration. And you will be able to conquer any vision, any mission, any goal that you have. Why? Because you believe in yourself first. Everybody else is going to come and believe in you. You're going to have all these supporters. You're going to have people that trust you. You're going to have people that love you. You're going to have people that want to hear everything you have to say. But before you can get to that point, you have to believe in yourself. Before you can get to that point, you have to believe in yourself. Okay? You have to believe in yourself. Okay? Okay. One more time. You have to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. And once you believe in yourself, you can get everybody else to believe in you too. So, you have to believe in yourself.